Hello, hi everybody, and welcome to Rising Above the Average, where we talk about breakthroughs, things that have helped you, things that you're going through at the moment, and your success stories as well. And I'm your host, Alun Da Silva, and it's always a privilege to be here every single week, talking about breakthroughs and success stories and the things that we've learned along the way. So today I'd like to talk about 3 books you should read for your health. 3 books you should read for optimal health. And if you're like, oh, I'm not a kind of a book reader kind of person, that's fine. You can get the audiobooks as well. Or just listen to the podcast from these writers. But before we get right into it, you know the drill by now. Happy New Year again. If you were not in our previous live, Happy New Year. If this is the first time you're joining us, this is a live where I call it the global living room of rising above the average. And why rising above the average? Because it's a place where we share our success stories. It's where we share our breakthroughs as well as our challenges, right? And what we've learned through them. So we do this every single weekend on Saturdays at 11 a.m. UK time. I think it just changed depending on the winter, but yes, you can always catch me, and you can always rewatch our lives on my channel. And if the first time you join us, welcome. I hope you will have a great time. And for those who join us every single week, I want to say a big thank you. And for those who send us questions, thank you. Keep sending your questions. I will try to answer them as much as I can. So if you're wondering what is the purpose of this channel, the purpose of this channel primarily is to connect with like-minded people, to learn from each other. So this is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. I know I do come here every single week and share a lot of things with you guys, but I'm also very expectant to hear a lot of things from you guys as well, in as much as at the moment you can't kind of speak to me, but feel free to reach out to me if you want to. If you have something you want to share, feel free. If you want to be a speaker, a guest speaker on this channel, DM me, and I would love to invite you for you to share what you've got into this community. So feel free to DM me if you want to be a guest speaker, and if you have any feedback, write and leave me a DM, and I'll be sure to put that into consideration as well. So this is a place where we learn, we talk about growth, we talk about personal development in both our personal life, professional life, and our businesses, all around 360 personal development. And as we always do, I like to start to kick off the sessions by asking, what have you learned this week? And if you're like, Alan, I don't think I've learned anything, then what could you have learned this week? Take 1 second to reflect back. What could you have learned this week? Or what have you learned this week? And this week was a busy week for me. And one thing I've learned is the power of hard work. Hard work always pays off. Even if sometimes at the beginning it feels like, oh my God, I'm doing so much and I'm not getting results. But ultimately, it always pays off. So look through your week and see, what have you learned this week? Or what could you have learned this week? During the week I was thinking, what should I share with you guys? And I was thinking, I love to read. I read every single day. I love to read. So I was like, well, let me, the great way to kickstart the year is to know how we can keep our bodies surviving through this year into the next year. And this is a time where many of us are doing our New Year resolutions, or are we're updating our goals. And we've reached certain goals and we're now setting new goals, and that's beautiful. While we're setting all our goals and everything, I would like to invite us to also consider setting physical goals of keeping our bodies healthy. So today I'd like to share 3 books you should read for optimal health, for your own health. And the first book I want to share is this book, Life Force by Tony Robbins. This is, oh my God, this is an amazing book. And you can see I'm over halfway through it. It is amazing. This is Life Force by Tony Robbins. And I'd like to read an excerpt. And this is section 4, saying, tackling the top 6 killers. The latest scientific breakthroughs are available to help you prevent, treat, and potentially heal some of the most dreaded diseases including heart disease, how to mend a broken heart, your brain, treating stroke, how to win the war on cancer, conquering inflammation and autoimmune diseases, bringing peace to the body, the double threat of diabetes and obesity, defeating a double threat, Alzheimer's disease, eradicating the beast. These are the top 6 killers in the US and I guess most developed countries as well. So if any of this resonate with you, I would definitely encourage you to get a copy of this. You can get this on Amazon or any books on Life Force. It's called Life Force by Tony Robbins. I'm going to leave the names of the books that I recommend in the description so you can have a look and go and grab them. Before I move on to the next one, I would like to just read a little bit. It says, the heart will continue to do its critical work, dependably delivering this life force to us over and over, beating about 35 million times each year. Your heart beats about 35 million times each year until finally one day it stops. It stops. And you want that heart to beat longer. Well, if you want to live longer, you want it to beat longer, and you want to live healthy. You want to feel good about your body. You feel better about your body. This book is amazing. So much to read. I don't even know, what else I should share with you. Every page is a jewel. Every page is a jewel. It talks about building new hearts, how to take care of your heart, how to take care of your organs, what to eat, what are the new scientific breakthroughs that are going to help you, and why you should eat more vegetables and drink more water. Eat more vegetables and fruit and drink more water. In as much as, we have all this sexy food and everything, eat as simple as you can. The simpler, the closer the food can be to its natural state, the better. That's what I'm going to say. So let me read one more part before I go to the next one. I think there's something about, and also explains, we've heard these words about diabetes, Alzheimer's, stroke, heart disease. What do they mean? Sometimes some of us we hear these buzzwords, but we don't even know what they mean. I think it's important for us to understand what they mean. How do they manifest in the body and how we can prevent them. So let me read a short excerpt that says, strokes are usually caused when a blood clot blocks a vessel in the brain. They can also be caused by a rupture. The key to boosting the chances of recovering from a stroke caused by a clot is something called tissue plasminogen activator, or simply put, TPA. Did you hear that? TPA. Did you know that? Well, I guess you didn't. If you're anything like me, I didn't until I read this book. I didn't even know. I used to hear the word stroke, but I didn't even know what is stroke. What is caused. So it says that stroke is caused when a blood clot blocks, I'm going through that again, blocks a vessel in the brain, or when a vessel ruptures in the brain. That's when you have stroke. And it says the key to boosting the chances of recovering from a stroke caused by a clot is something called tissue plasminogen activator, or TPA. Well, if you're already blown by this, I recommend you get this book because you can be blown more. So much nuggets in this book. I definitely recommend that you read this book. If you're anybody and you want to take your health to the next level, get your hands on Life Force. Even if it's not for yourself, for your family, for your parents, if you have elderlies in your family and they're suffering from these kind of diseases, I think you owe yourself to get this book, read it, and see how you can support your family members. So much to read in this book. Let me see. Let me just read some of the chapters, some of the things it covers. for you. So it talks about longevity and the power of exponential technologies, creating an extraordinary quality of life, the power of mindset, the power of decision, the gift of living in a beautiful state. It talks about how to enhance your visible health and vitality. It talks about women health, the cycle of life. It talks about strength, fitness, and performance, your quick guide to maximum results, the power of sleep, the power of sleep, the third pillar of health, the longevity, lifestyle, and diet. If you're someone like me and you want to live for long, how can you do that? What should be your diet? What should be your lifestyle? Everything can be found in this book, Life Force. So as I was saying, 3 books you should read for your health. Number 1, Life Force. Definitely recommend this. Let's go. Number 2. Number 2, my favorite all time. I think I've spoken about this before, but it never gets old. Cleanse to Heal. Cleanse to Heal by Medical Medium. I know it's kind of upside down, but Cleanse to Heal. I'm going to write the names of this book in the description, so you can grab your copy on Amazon or anywhere you get your book. But Cleanse to Heal is by Anthony William, and it says healing plans for sufferers of anxiety, depression, acne, eczema, Lyme disease, gut problems, brain fogs, weight. It says weight issues. If you're someone like, and you don't know, you just gain weight anyhow and you don't know what is happening, this is your book. Migraines, bloating, vertigo, psoriasis, cyst, fatigue, PCOS, fibroids, UTI, endometriosis, and autoimmune disease. If you experience any of these kind of things, I recommend Cleanse to Heal. This is a beautiful book that gives you simple, natural, everyday remedies, like simple remedies, what you can eat to support your health, what you can eat to heal. And it gives you explanation of how do those things come about. In this book, just right behind, in this book, you get treatment for acne, addiction, adrenal problems. These are big, aging, Alzheimer's and dementia, anxiety, anorexia and bulimia, autoimmune disorders, bloating, brain fog. If you experience any of these things, there is a cure for you in this book. UTI, vertigo, weight gain. If you're the kind of person that just by looking at food, you gain weight, this is the book for you. This is the book for you. It explains what is happening in your body. When you understand what is happening in your body, it explains, it tells you the kind of food to eat, to regulate, to bring your body into balance, and how to prevent it, how to maintain it for long. This is definitely the book for you. Cleanse to Heal, my favorite all time. And what I love about this book is that behind it has healing protocols. Let me show you. It has recommendations for different kind of symptoms that you might have. So, and the dosage. So my favorite part is chapter 29, and it says the true cause of your symptoms and conditions with dosages to heal. For example, I've suffered from acne for a long time. It's only now that my skin is even getting better because I'm using these protocols, right? So what I do is I go here, and if I'm experiencing, for example, acne, so all the symptoms are labeled from A to Z. So here you have abscesses. If you have abscesses, those boils that come and they hurt. Some of them hurt, some of them don't. Then it says if you have abscesses, what you can do, the true cause of it, then what you can do to heal from it. If you have acne, it says acne is caused by one or more strains from over 50 groups of Streptococcus bacteria, and it gives you what causes it and then what you can do. It says fresh celery juice every day, barley grass juice powder, cat claw, spirulina, vitamin C, zinc. It tells you what you can take in order to heal from those. If you feel you have an addiction, it says the causes of addiction. It tells you what to do to break free from that addiction. Adrenal problems. If you have weak adrenals, it says the causes is chronic fight or flight syndromes, a low-grade viral infection, such as from one of the over 60 varieties of Epstein-Barr, too many years on a high-fat, high-protein diet. You see, that's the cause. Or regularly going too many hours without eating. In many cases, all four of these causes can contribute at the same time. You hear that? And what can you do now to heal from that? He says, fresh celery juice, work up to 16 ounces twice a day or 32 ounces every morning. Fresh celery juice. Celery force, 3 capsules twice a day. Almond berry, 1 teaspoon twice a day. Ashwagandha, 1 dropful twice a day. B complex, 1 capsule daily. So many symptoms are here. There's Alzheimer's disease, dementia, memory issues, what you can do to heal. Aging, what's the true cause of aging and what you can do to heal. There's anorexia and bulimia, anxiety and anxiousness. You know, you're always anxious, but you don't know why. These are the things. There are things that you can do to heal. So I definitely recommend that you get this book, Cleanse to Heal. It's my favorite all-time health book, Cleanse to Heal. It gives you things that you can do right now, right here. And especially when you're in a situation where you've been to the doctors again and again and you don't know what is happening. I recommend check this out. Cleanse to Heal by Anthony William. I'm going to write the details. I'm going to write the names of the books and the authors in the details, and you can check it out. So the third one, so we're still talking about books to read for your health, and I've shared 2 books. Number 1, Life Force by Tony Robbins. 2, Cleanse to Heal by Anthony William. And the third book is also by Anthony William. It's called Brain Savers. Brain Savers by Anthony William. Brain Savers. And this is answers to brain inflammation, mental health, OCD, brain fog, neurological symptoms, addiction, anxiety, depression, heavy metals, Epstein-Barr, virus, seizures, Lyme, ADHD, Alzheimer's, autoimmune, and eating disorders. Medical Medium Brain Saver by Anthony William. Let me try to put the books here. Maybe you could grab. You could see it there, and then you could grab a copy whenever you can. Grab a copy when you can. Put this one here. Maybe you see, grab a copy when you can. So in this book, it says if you've been searching for direction about brain, neurological or mental health, you've finally found the answers. Whether you're just starting out or your journey has taken you to multiple neurologists, internists, and functional medicine doctors, your time has come to discover the true cause of your suffering. Move forward and heal. So issues like numbness and tingling, OCD, Parkinson's disease, personality disorder, POTS, psychosis, PTSD, repetitive strain injury, restless leg syndrome, seizures, tics and spasm, tinnitus, Tourette syndrome, tremors, eating disorder, encephalopathy, fibromyalgia. If you have issues with addiction, ADHD, brain lesions, brain inflammation, brain fog, bipolar. This, as you can see right now, is packed with good information. Packed. I love this book because whenever I feel anything, whenever I'm like, oh my God, I want to know more about my health, flip through this page. There's always something to learn. There's always something to, and if you feel any symptom, oh my God, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling like my eye is twitching, flip the book and you can always find something. Let me read. Chapter 1 says, save your brain. Chapter 1, save your brain. Remember, we're talking about brain saver. And so many of us are, there's so many things happening in this world that so many of us are going bonkers, like really bonkers. So this is a timely book. I encourage you to grab a copy from Amazon, from any of the booksellers. Brain Savers by Anthony Williams. Sorry. So I want to read a short excerpt. And this book comes in part 2, by the way, in 2 parts. So this is part 1. I'm going to talk about part 2 soon. So it says, save your brain. You've been preparing for this your whole life. Every guidebook you could find, every story, every piece of common wisdom, every social media video about others' journey, you've studied them all. Knowing the time will come for you to get out into the fresh air, saturate yourself in nature, and pursue your own dream hike. Now all that's left is to pack your knapsack for the day with the items you've been told are the essentials. 1. Map and compass, check. Water, check. Protein bars, check. Hat, phone, sunglasses, ID, first aid kit, spare clothing, some money in case of emergency, your home and car keys for when you return. Each item is nestled in a special place in your hiking pack. In other words, get ready to go on a journey to save your brain. I recommend this book. I definitely recommend this book. It says, you don't find out until it's too late. It says, you don't find out until it's too late that you're marooned and vulnerable. Maybe you never find out. Your body starts to deteriorate. Your liver gives out. Your kidneys go. Or you have a stroke or an early heart attack before you even get a chance to reach for the brain knowledge you were sure would be there when you needed it. You never realized that your health crisis was because your whole body paid the price for a world that's utterly confused about how to protect the brain. Let's change that. Let's change that today. Let's learn how to protect our brains. Brain Savers by Anthony Williams. And this is part 1. This is book 1. This book comes in 2 books in 1. So they come in 2. They're massive books. They're massive. You don't have to read them one in a go. But whenever you feel a symptom, you can flip them. Book 2 is about brain savers, protocol, cleanses, and recipe. This is about the recipes. What you can do, what you can eat and drink in order to save your brain. It's about the protocols and recipes on how to heal from ADHD, from bipolar syndrome, from rheumatoid arthritis, from seizures, from gastritis, from facial pain, from OCD, from neuropathy, from Lyme disease, from lupus, from long haul COVID, from vibrating face, so many Parkinson's disease. What can you do to heal? This is what part and this book, the second part of this book is about. Brain savers, protocols, cleanses, and recipes. Beautiful, beautiful. It tells you what to eat. The recipes, beautiful. What to eat to heal. All-time favorite books. And we're still talking about what to eat. 3 books to read for your optimal health. And many of these recipes are delicious. They're delicious. You can make them at home. They look amazing. And you know they're healthy. They're not going to have any side effects. They're not going to damage your liver, damage your lungs, damage anything. You can confidently make them at home and invite your guests. This book is amazing. And I love that it has like the brain shot therapies as well. What to drink to remove negative energy exposure. If you've been exposed to negative energy, what can you drink to clear that out? It has toxic fragrance exposure. You have that colleague, that friend that always like to put some kind of perfume, and you're like, oh my god. When you get home, do yourself a service. Quickly make yourself a toxic fragrance exposure to cleanse your body. It has pathogen exposure. If you've been exposed to pathogen, now there are lots of goodies in the air these days. Maybe you went out and you feel like a lot of people are ill. When you come back home, make yourself some pathogen exposure. Drink at home. Exposure shots. This is a great book. I recommend this book. So we're talking about mold exposure. Mold is so rampant in our world today. If you have a lot of mold in your house or you've been exposed to mold exposure shot. Mold exposure shot. And what does it contain? It says A helpful shot for any kind of mold or mildew exposure, including when you have been visiting or living in a moldy house or building, working in a moldy office or other workspace, inhaling mold off another person's clothing, consuming water contaminated with mildew, mildew or mold spores, or eating moldy food. It says half cup of tightly packed fresh basil, half cup of tightly packed fresh oregano, 2 spring fresh rosemary, 1-inch piece of fresh ginger, 2 radishes, quarter bulb fennel, or half cup chopped. So run each ingredient through a juicer in the order listed from top to bottom. Pour into a glass and serve. Tips. For the fresh rosemary, if the stems are woody, you can use just the leaves. If the stems are soft, you can juice them too. When juicing fennel for this recipe, you can use only the bulb itself or the bulb plus the lower to mild stalk, leaving out the leafy fronds in this case. So many things you can do to save your brain. Do you have family members who are suffering from Alzheimer, Parkinson's disease, ADHD, gastritis, confusion recovery, cranial nerve, inflammation of each tissue? Do you know people suffer from blood clot? Do you know people suffer from brain fog? Well, get them this book. Get them this book. This book comes in 2 parts, by the way, and that's why I recommend 3 books. These are 2 in 1. These are 2 in 1. These are the protocols that explains what you have. This one gives you the protocols, the remedies. What do you do in order to heal, in order to save your brain, and how and how thoughtful and so necessary these things are these days for us to heal our brain. How necessary it is for us to heal our brain. So, oh my God, today was a bit of a long session, but I really wanted to make sure that we kick off this year not only eating right, but setting the right goals for our physical body. These are the 3 books I recommend for optimal health: Life Force, Cleanse to Heal, and Brain Savers. I'm going to leave their name in the description. Grab yourself a copy and let me know. Let me know whenever if you grab your copy as a result of what you're hearing here. Let me know. DM me. Let me know. What moved you to get a copy? What symptoms are you trying to solve? Are you trying to heal from? Or is your family member? Let me know. Let me know so we can do this together. Well, guys, this is what I wanted to share with you. These are life-changing books. Honestly, life-changing books. 10 years ago, I wish we had something like that. I remember one of my aunties passed on from cancer. I think it was, I don't know, maybe 17, 20 years ago. And I wish I knew this. I wish this book was here. It has remedies for cancer. I wish this book was here. And I could tell her, oh, actually, auntie, eat this, don't eat this, do this, and maybe she would have still been alive now. But you know what? It's not too late for you. It's not too late for your own family members and your loved ones. You can get this book and learn what you have to learn in order to heal. Heal yourself and heal the people around you. Well, guys, always a pleasure. Remember, this is not a monologue. It's a dialogue. So continue sending your questions. And if you want to be a guest speaker on this channel, send me a DM. Everyone is welcome. Send me a DM and then we'll talk through it. I want to know what you like to talk about, and then we'll plan a day for you to come on and share with everyone. Let me know if you get this book. Let me know how you're doing. Send me a message on how these lives have impacted you, and what else would you like to know? What would you like more of? What would you like me to share more of? Let me know. Well, guys, check out my website. Click the link on my bio. I've also just launched an inspirational clothing line. Check the store icon on my page and check out the new things that we offer, and hopefully we can serve you more. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, and hope to see you next week. Bye, guys. Bye.